And you're also asking groups to designate a spokesperson for
Right.
specific topics. It's not like, we don't want 5 people to come in and talk about the same thing, you know.
Well, my thing is that if it's truly something that they're that concerned about, let's say if it's the budget. All of our phone numbers and Aaron's, we're always open. I mean, I haven't turned a person down yet that has called me from the public that I've ever said, no, I won't speak with you. I mean, I always think sometimes speaking in person is better. If you have a question about something, you can understand it better to come in and to talk, so.
Except that's not talking to the board.
Right, but I mean, why couldn't they, if I have a question on the, not just a question, but I have a concern in the budget, well, they can talk to all of us, you know, individually too, because sometimes I like that better, because then I can actually sit and talk longer to a person and hear more questions and things or whatever, and as I've always tried to encourage people, if they do have a question or a comment or concern, that they should call up the superintendent and ask, how does this work, or, you know, whatever. Vote on it, move on.
Let's vote on it, okay? It's not gonna be kind of a straw vote, but that was a motion, but okay, all those that, want 20 minutes, we say aye.
Aye.
That's 3. All those that want 30 minutes? And I'll even go 30, but that's still 3 to 2, so that would mean that we would go 20 minutes. Okay, and that we've all agreed that 5 minutes is going to be the, 5 minutes is going to be the, limit per speaker, and that will be the job of, our business manager to do that. It'll be Zane until he's here, and then it'll be our new business manager will do the timing. Okay, all right, then we got number 3, public comment is limited by agenda topic, so it must be on the agenda. The agendas of the current and at least one preceding board meeting. I don't think we want to go more than one, do we? Okay, we're all good with that. Number 4, public comment must be pertinent to the school district. Number 5, public comment may not interfere with the orderly conduct of regular board meeting. Number 6, public comment may not be defamatory, abusive, harassing, or unlawful. Number 7, public comment may be prohibited if an alternate procedure exists to bring that particular type of public comment before the public entity. So in other words, if we're having a forum on let's say it's we have to raise taxes, or we have to do a mill levy raise. Well, we'll do that at the forum, not at the meeting. That's what that's saying. Everybody agree with that? You're still gonna get a chance to speak, probably more so than anything. And the public comment includes confidential or sample information. The public comment is otherwise prohibited by law. Okay, and then, as Bradley said, on the bottom here, it says groups to be urged to designate a spokesman. Notwithstanding the rules and limitations above, when there's a large number of public speakers to be heard, or if the pressure of the business or other circumstances dictate, the presiding officer may shorten the length of time allowed for each speaker and limit the total time to be devoted to the public comment. Okay, so I have that right if I do that. Okay, on the next page, conduct remarks out of order, undue communication or other interference with orderly conduct will not be allowed. And if we're going to talk about the same thing, I'm not going to read all that. Okay, and then public presentation, separate agenda items. Only items on the published board agenda will be discussed at any meeting of the board, unless the superintendent or a board member requests an addition to the agenda of the regular meeting, and the board members present approve in accordance with the board policy. So that means that someone could add something at the meeting, and we can discuss it. Is that what that's saying? But understand, and if that happens, let's say Bradley wants to add something to the agenda, so that the people out there can speak about it, and we have to, the whole board's got to approve that, correct?
Just like
Just so you understand that, I mean, you can't just be Bradley saying, okay, I'm gonna have talk about this, and then the rest of us say, we don't wanna hear that. So, I'm not saying that we all wanna hear that, but I'm just saying,
Agenda, yeah.
it could be added to the agenda, but it has to be a board approval.
Right, yeah, it
Okay.
could be whenever we add one, it can be also about that, not just about what was printed, so, yeah.
Okay, everybody understand that?
Aaron says that.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Members of the public who wish to be added to separate agenda and make formal requests before the board shall make requests in advance in accordance with the board agenda setting policy. So again, I'm not sure how that works. Somebody that the public wants to add something, how are they gonna do that?
The same as they always, they contact
Me?
you.
Okay.
The X, whatever it is before.
Okay,
So that's if they, you know, if there's something they wanna talk about that's not on the agenda,
Right.
then they, just like they always have.
and what is the policy on how many days it has to be before?
Well, that's not very clear because
No.
of the consent agenda,
No.
that makes that a little complicated.
And to me, once the agenda's been posted, it's hard to add to it.
I think we could put it in that one, maybe we could add it in there, second one that says like pre-meeting, remember we talked about the order and things, I think it might be in that one. We have one coming up and another one that we're working on, it might be in that one, or there's another one. There's a couple board ones that you can put, like, if you wanted to put like, how many days ahead of time. 5 days, 10 days, you know, whatever, or something.
To me, it should be at least, once
Is that
once
one-
the agenda is posted, it's hard to change it.
Because
That's
we're
kind of
referring
that's
to-
kind of the standing rule that I use when people call me. When they call me, I'm sure the agenda's been set, and so to me, it's like, I would like to have that steadfast rule, that,
Right.
so I'm being
And
consistent.
we could do that, cause I know we're gonna have all these
Okay.
policies that are gonna come up on the 13th, the regular meeting, and we could add it to make sure to one of those, when it was pre-meeting preparation or something, whatever. We could probably put it in there was a couple anyway, one of those that we could put it in. When we do them for the first reading.
Yeah, we need to
Right.
revamp this if we do that.
Right, that was one that we had looked at, and I think that was one that we said we were gonna bring to the, I think those are, I think from what you guys had said, that you're gonna put all of those are gonna be our first reading at, this 13th, for the
Yeah.
regular meeting, so we can look at that and adding it into one of
Okay.
those.
Okay. All right. And we'll have to discuss that. So I just want, from my perspective, I want to be consistent. So if I tell someone 10 days, I want to do that.
Right,
for everyone.
and I get it, so that it isn't just adding something 3 days ahead of time or whatever, right? Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, complaints, the board has adopted policies governing patron complaints. The public is required to seek redress for these policies. The public will be prevented from commenting on a topic if it is governed by district or compliance policies and the complaint is not followed the procedure and policy. Policy prohibits the public from bringing the complaint before the board. This includes but is not limited to complaints about personnel and complaints about instructional resource materials. And then number 2 includes confidential or exempt information. You can't talk about students' education record or concern a topic that otherwise prohibits by law from disclosure to the public. Okay? All right, then the last part, we have 2 options here. Questions and comments by the board and district administrator. Number 1, board members and district administrators may question a speaker or make comments in response to the speaker's remarks. Or, option 2, the presiding officer or an appropriate member of the administration will answer all pertinent questions verbally or in writing at a later date. There will be no dialogue between board members and the public at the board meeting except to clarify the nature of questions and comments. All right, so let's talk about these 2 options.
I like option 2 just because I don't feel like might not be prepared to ask questions or to comment on something, even if it is on the agenda, it might be something that we've never thought about or whatever before, and I guess I always like to have a little time to think about something before I put on the spot to answer it, but again, that's just my opinion.
Okay.
And I like option one because I don't think we should limit ourselves from being able to, you know, ask them a couple questions, understand better what they're, you know,
Well, that's what I think.
well, it says,
That's where, yeah, in option two, that's where, like, the appropriate member of the administration, like say, for example, the president, that's where that time where he can to clarify, to get like.
I could,
what
I
are
could
your
ask
questions
Aaron to
or like-
clarify it as well.
Right, or what it is saying, clarify what you're asking from us, what information you want, you know, or
but
whatever.
I don't think it's right that the rest of the board is allowed to do that.
It says in option two, there will be no dialogue between board members and the public at board meetings except to clarify the nature of questions or comments.
Nothing?
I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I don't know. I think the board should engage,
You're an option one guy.
kind of, but I also like the ability to have an option two to gather the information that you need when you respond.
Well, you can still do that.
You don't have to ask them any questions.
No.
You don't have to, you don't have to say anything, it just gives you the option to.
James?
I think number one would give you more argumentative back and forth dialogue. Yeah. Or open that up a little more, and then option two, it does have, except to clarify the nature of the question, so you can ask, clarify what they're asking, and it's a little more low key, so I'm leaning toward that.
Okay, so my personal opinion is option two, and not because I'm the president, not because I want control, that's not it. I just think that sometimes we have to be awful careful what we say. And so sometimes, I know I got heated at one meeting last year, and I make sure that never happens again, but we have to make sure that we, think things through and say things that we don't come back to haunt us. So I know, but I just think, and I like the part about, if I don't know this answer, we're gonna find it for you and write it for you and give you an answer in the future. So instead of saying something that we might regret, that's why I'm on option two. But again, I'm with everyone else too. So.
And I believe that board should speak as a unified voice. Also.
Well, and I feel like that you have the chance to at least say, if I want you to clarify, the questions or comments.
So yeah.
Any more discussion? We can keep talking about this. If this is important, we need to discuss this. You all feel good about this.
And that would prevent one board member from just rambling on and saying something that shouldn't be said, maybe. But we can ask them to clarify the answer. We're not gonna give them all the answers right away.
I could tell you that as a president, I would make sure that I understood that, and if somebody used to say, say to me, well, I don't understand that, and I can ask more, but whatever, okay? I am not going to dictate to you how to vote here, I'm just saying my opinion, which I'm allowed to do. All right, any more discussion? Let's vote on this. Okay, so all those then in favor of option one, please say aye. All those in favor of option two?
Aye.
Okay, and I will also say option two, so we will use option two at this time. Okay, I guess this isn't on here, but, I wanna add when it's gonna be on the meeting.
Okay, there is,
One more thing?
but right underneath that discussion of motions, says when a motion is before the board, discussion will be limited to board members. And you have the option of and the superintendent as the presiding officer request information. We felt like it should be, because otherwise then he has to speak every time when we make a motion, and he probably will have most of the information.
Right. I think that needs to stay there. Everybody okay with that? Okay, so the only other thing I want to talk about here before we decide how to handle this is in what part of the agenda is going to be public comment. And I am the person that says at the beginning, but I will let you, what?
I like that at the beginning because I wanna hear what they have, because what if it's an agenda item that's down here? And I wanna hear their opinions first, because once we make a motion and then we hear opinions afterwards, then it's kind of a moot point. We've already made a motion on it and we've already voted on it or whatever, so I'd like to get it right away and be over with, I guess.
James?
I agree, and then if they do have something to say about something later, they can talk the next meeting about what we voted on the prior meeting. So it will give you a moment to maybe appreciate what they're doing. Otherwise, yeah, we voted too late. So,
That's why
early.
I think having their viewpoint and being able to process that before you vote on something is important. So I would say in the beginning of the meeting.
Vanessa?
There's pros and cons to both, so I guess on this one. So.
Well, I don't think you do it that way at all.
Really?
So, one of the things that I'm gonna say, and I'm not really, I'm kinda like you, pros and cons in both ways. I just think that at the beginning of the meeting, people are going to come in prepared, and they're gonna come in with what they feel in their minds, and so I think sometimes at the end you get maybe a little hot and emotional. I just think you're a little bit more, prepared and more ready to make your point. And I think there's a lot of things that can be said about that their opinion. I may change how I'm gonna vote on something if I hear all them stuff at the beginning of the meeting. So I'm hearing at the beginning of the meeting. Okay?
That's in a policy that'll be coming on Wednesday.
Okay. All right, so, I'm hearing we probably, so I guess what I'm saying is we can probably just accept this for the first reading and we can do the second reading and the meeting. However, the problem is we have to legally let people speak at the August meeting.
I'm okay for this to be the first reading, but still follow it, so that they can speak right away on next week at our regular meeting.
So how are we gonna get out to the public that they have the right to speak at the next meeting?
Well,
If they care, they know.
Huh?
I think if they care, they know.
Okay.
but we can have them put it on the school site, you know, or something.
I guess the thing that I want on there is that they are allowed to speak and they don't have to call me, they can sign up when they walk in, because that somehow we have to get that word out. You can put it on. And if they call me, I would tell them that too, so. Okay, but I want everybody to chance to, and I don't know how much we have, it's controversial in the August meeting, maybe the only thing maybe the budget, but we see we've got same things about the budget, but, all right, so I guess what I'm asking
Is that going
for,
out online?
what's that?
Is that going out online, the budget, ASAP, somehow? Otherwise, nobody's gonna have any public comment without seeing it, you should talk about a budget you haven't
What's
seen.
been done before, right?
We never, I guess I just, I mean, and I don't care, we're not hiding anything at all, ever. We've never done any of this ahead of time, I guess, or whatever, but I don't care. I
If
mean-
someone came in and asked for the budget, you have to give that to them.
Yeah.
Well, right, it's not
So,
approved,
to
they
me,
would have to
that's-
know that it's this.
To me, that's probably the avenue to take.
Right, as long as they know that it's not, yeah.
It's always been put online with all the other stuff before meetings. I don't, well, not others, but you know.
Hardly ever, up until maybe this last year when we had that was on here, but I don't remember ever putting out policies, we never ever posted policies ahead of time and said, here, okay.
And just in looking
Yeah,
at
that's
the
what I'm asking.
school website, when I go under school board, the only one that I've ever seen that's been put on the school website was school board meeting documents from July of '24.
There's been a lot of others.
Unless I'm missing
Right.
something, that's entirely possible.
No, I get it, but.
Yeah.
Right, just like when the meeting gets posted, but I mean, you know, this one, I think he just finished or whatever, but I mean, it's not like they're posted something like a month ahead of time or something like that.
No, when did, I didn't say that, when it was posted.
Okay, what I need here is a motion to accept policy BCBA on the first reading.
I'll make the motion to accept the BCBA first reading.
And I'd like to say that, so, and then I'll go through it again, but we'll type this up, what we talked about here. Okay,
I'll make a second.
and probably second, okay, any other discussion? Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor then accepting policy BCBA at the first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. What's gonna happen is it will show up in the August meeting. However, we must get the word out that people, if any of you board members, if anybody asks you, you simply can tell them if they have questions, they call me, or they can sign up on the day of the meeting. Okay, so you all know that if they ask you. Okay, about her answer to the budget, have we decided we're gonna post that, or? What do the rest of you think?
Whatever.
It's a, well,
It's a lot of work, isn't it? And you're not totally done with it either, so.
well, it's like I said, it's a fluid document, there's some things that need to be looked at a little bit.
I guess I would like to leave it as if they really wanna see it, they come and ask for it. Okay, and here's my challenge to you board members. Please review this. Please look at this. Please make sure that you're happy with the budget. Please make sure that you, ask questions. And I guess one of the things that I like this number that $185,000 that come to us because of that Lukens thing is something that public should know. I mean, so we can't change that, we have to deal with that. So we're going to probably deficit spend because of that. And how much deficit spend? It's our control, right? Or, whatever. So anything else for the good of the order before?
And also with the caps. I mean, that's nothing to do with the public, but it would have, we can't ask for any more mills either. We can only do the 3%, so
Okay,
that's very limited.
all right. Okay, so our August regular meeting is the 13th at 7 p.m. We'll discuss that. Remember, we have agreed, and Aaron's going to take care of this, that we will provide snacks and introduce ourselves after the in-service on the 14th. And again, one more time. Thank you, Zane. I'm going to miss you.
Thank you, yeah.
I'm really gonna miss you. Even though he's an Indiana Pacer fan, that's okay, we'll live with him. All right.
Dodger fan, by the way.
I know.
Staff.
All right,
Staff.
anyway, I guess I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, by Vanessa, second by, Colette. All in favor of adjourning?
James.
Oh, I heard her. Okay, James then. Whoever he writes down, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, all in favor of adjourning the special meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the special regular board meeting has been adjourned at 8:25 a.m. Thank you.